So in this unit circle, we will talk about the cosine of pi over 6 by reading the unit circles. So here, it's pi over 6. It stay here, pi over 4, and pi over 3. The pi over 6, that mean that 30 degree, and pi over 4, that mean 45 degree. Yeah, and pi over 3, that means 60 degree. So in angles, there are two kind of like angles that they will write. One is degree in degree here, and another is a radians. It's like pi over 4 like this. Okay, so so we want to know about the cosine of pi over 6. So we can just, yeah, here just make this. So I mean, we could just draw a line to this, and here and here. So the place on the cosine x from pi over 6, it stay here, and pi over 4 stay here, and pi over 3 stay here. So 3, right? 3 places. So this place, it's third place, and it's near the circumference of the circle. So we can consider this is square root 3 over 2, and this square root 2 over 2, and this is 1 over 2. So they mean cosine pi over 6 consider as square root 3 over 2, and cosine pi over 4 consider as square root 2 over 2, and cosine pi over 3 1 over 2. So the main thing that you can remember is if we draw a line from angles to the x to cosine, if it stay here, so that means to the nearest the nearest place to the circle circumference, so we can consider that place is square root 3 over 2. So that is why cosine of pi over 6 is square root 3 over 2. And furthermore, for pi over 4, it's in the middle. So in the middles, it can be considered as square root 2 over 2. And for pi over 3, it's it here, so 1 over 2. So three things that you can remember. One is near the circle circumference, and another is in the middles, and another is left, like to the left of all, like 1 over 2 in this case. So yeah, you can just remember 3 cosine, and then you can find the value of sine immediately or automatically. So for cosine pi over 6 equal 3x square root 3 over 2. So you have to remember that square root 3 over 2 and 1 over 2, it is like enemy. Okay, why enemy? Because if cosine pi over 6 equals square root 3 over 2, sine will be 1 over 2. So that means cosine of any angles that equal to square root 3 over 2, we can consider that sine of that angle equal to 1 over 2. Yeah, but for pi over 4, so pi over 4, both of them, it square root 2 over 2. Yeah, but for pi over 3, that will be cosine pi over 3, and that will be square root 3 over 2. That's it. So the main thing that you can just remember is just remember the 3 value of cosine pi over 6, pi over 4, and pi over 3. But these angles are angles that stay in one first quadrant. How about second one, second quadrant, third quadrant, and fourth quadrant? So as you can see here, so first quadrant, the the value of cosine of angle that stay in first quadrant, all of them are positive. But for the second one, so the second one here, cosine will be negative and sine will be positive. But for third quadrant, so both of them negative and sine is negative. But for the fourth quadrant, so that means cosine will be positive, but sine will be negative. That's it. So how can we notice that angle, any angle, come from like which quadrant? So first, pi over 6, pi over 4, and pi over 3 are angles that come from first quadrant. But how about the second quadrant. The second quadrant we can notice by looking at like this. Okay, so pi over 6, pi over 4, and pi over 3. It's first quadrant. About the second one, this pi over 6 become 5 pi over 6. So that means we can imagine, or we can know about the angles from the second quadrant by what? By using angle from first quadrant. Using what? It's like you pick 6, subtract 1, and then equal 5. So that means like I can say minus 1. So this will be 3 pi over 4 and 4 pi over 3. Okay, but for third, it come from first quadrant as well, but for second we subtract 1, but for third we added 1. So we added 1 and then put in like as the configuration of the of the top or denominator. So that will be 7 pi over 6. That will be 5 pi over 6. Oh, 5 pi over 4 and 4 pi over 3. I'm sorry for this. 2 pi over 3. Okay. So about fourth quadrant, it is plus 1. Yeah, but this is times 2 minus 1. So that means 6 times 2 minus 1 is 11. So 11 pi over 6, 7 pi over 4, and 5 pi over 3. So I just want you to know, or how to know about the angles that from the third quadrant, second quadrant, and fourth quadrant. But how about the value cosine and sine of those angles? So for this, I just told you that cosine pi over 6 equals square root 3 over 2, and cosine pi over 4 equals square root 3 over 2, or square root 2 over 2, and cosine pi over 3 equal what? Equal 1 over 2. So here, so here you can just remember that cosine of angles that has 6, 4, and 3. So that has 6 as the denominators. We can consider cos of that angle equal to square root 3 over 2. And another cosine of 4, that means anything that has 4 as denominator, we can consider cosine of that angle is square root 2 over 2. And for cosine of anything over 3, 1 over 2. Okay, you can just remember that. But how about sine? So sine, so that means sine of something that has over 6, that will be 1 over 2. Okay, so over 4, that will be square root 2 over 2. And cosine 3, sine 3, that will be square root 3 over 2. Just remember 3 of this. But how? Just remember 3 of this. For example, okay, I give you like cosine 3 pi over 6. Oh, sorry, 2 pi over 4. So 3 pi over 4 here. So we can see denominator of the angles here is 4. So that means that will be square root 2 over 2, right? As I told you here. And then first step, you can just read the denominator, and the second one you can just focus on the number that stay here in front of pi. So it 1 less than 4, so that means 3 here, it's 1 less than 4, or we can say 4 minus 1. So like I told you, the angles that come from the second quadrant, has been made by subtract 1 from the bottom. So that means we can consider this angle is come from the second quadrant. So the second quadrant, cosine in the second quadrant can be considered as negative. So that will be negative square root 2 over 2. How about this? Like sine of 7 pi over 6. Okay, 7 pi over 6. At first, you can just focus on, okay, over 6. So I told you, okay, sine of anything over 6 is 1 over 2. First step, it's 1 over 2 here. And then you can just focus on the number that stay in front of pi, 7. So 7 is 1 more than 6. 1 more than 6. So I told you that for second quadrant, it 1 less than denominator. Third quadrant, 1 more than the 1 more than denominator, and the fourth quadrant, it is equal to denominator times 1 and subtract by 1, or subtract times 2 minus 1. So it's 7. So 7 pi over 6. So 7, it is 1 more than 6. So then we can consider this angle comes from the third quadrant. So sine of any angle from third quadrant is negative. So we can just put negative here. That is how to read unit circle or find any value from the unit circle by like remembering the property or something like denominator and convection in front of pi, like that. How about tens? Okay, we focus on 10. So tens, so the 10x, okay, the 10x, it is not in the circle. Okay, it's not in the circle, but it stay right here. It stay right here. Okay. So there are three kind or three value of tens. It's like here, you can see here, right? Here and here. So this, and this. Which one is closest? This, right? And it is middles, and this is like furthest, or like ngay trên kia. So square root of 6. So square root of 6 here, it's come from tens. So tens pi over 6. Yeah, 10 pi over 6 equal what? Equal to sine pi over 6 over cosine pi over 6. Yeah, so it 1 over 2. Yeah, so here for the closest, the closest, if the closest here, the angle that stay closest to the 10, it is 1 over square root 3. Yeah, or square root 3 over 3. Okay, so 1 over square root 3. For the the middle, it 1, but for this, it's square root 3. That's all. So it's just a little bit like information that you can remember to find the cosine or tens of any angle in this case. So I hope you understand this, but if you have any question, please inform me. Bye.